Okay, big day. New Callaway balls, new Callaway Tour balls, Chrome Tour, Chrome Tour X, Chrome Soft Sustained, but really exciting day. It's been a couple years, and I'm a Callaway ball user. I consider the LS one of my very best friends. So I've been really excited for this. Had them in play for a little while. We'll do a quick cut up of some shots, some data, some course stuff, some reactions I've seen, and take a look at what the balls are all about, the construction, the changes, all that. Let's get into it. All right, so the big thing is the new Chrome Tour, the gold box, the new gold standard. They're really taking a run at some of their competitors with this one, I think. Some changes. It's not a direct replacement for the LS, but it does have some similar characteristics. It's a whole new ball, though. Core to cover, dual mantle. I've got, let's see which one here. This is the this is the Chrome Tour. This was the LS. Got the X. Chrome Tour X right here, and the new Chrome Soft, like I said, staying in line. It's not my ball. It's totally a different flight for me. I didn't test it much because it's not for me. It's a great ball. It seems a little quicker, but the feel and the flight and everything is just much different than what I'm used to. So it's not my ball. Like I said, I've had them in play, I've been testing them for a little while. So let's just go ahead and take a look at some monitor shots and some data first, and then a couple course things. I got the fresh back. Yay. But then shortly after getting back, I tore a calf muscle on my right calf, which really sucks. I don't recommend it. It makes it really hard to push off in a golf swing. So I had some initial driver tests done on both the tour balls, but I just dotted them up on the Repsodo, so I'll get a chance to do some quad stuff. And there's going to be tons of guys testing this stuff. The Granite guys are going to be sharing their feedback. Lots of people are going to have data. So I did some 50-yard shots and some full pitching wedge, 7-iron, stuff like that, and then I did a full 55. We'll take a look at all that and see what you guys think of the data and what I feel about like what's changed and who they're going to benefit. Everyone always wants to see these 50-yard shots, and they're important, but on a monitor, I don't pay that much mind to the numbers, really. But since I'm an LS guy, I threw the LS in. The LS is going to be red in all these, the Chrome Tour light blue, and the Chrome Tour X dark blue. Just hit a bunch of shots, all the ones I try to flight, cut, all that, and left it all in there, so the data is just going to be the data on all of it. Definitely softer. Feels like I'm seeing a few hundred revs less than this, but we'll see. Look here. So as you could hear from my reaction, the Chrome Tour is definitely a little softer than the LS that I'm used to. I think the compression's around 90 on that, around 97 on the X, I believe. Yeah, something like that. And the X is a little clickier than the Tour. I mean, they don't feel that different. You can hear it, though. The pitch is a little bit different. If you look at the data, you can see the LS. I said a wide variety of shots here. The spin was fine. I mean, like, I flight things in pretty low typically. Like I said, I played a variety of shots, kind of threw it all over the place and just left it all in there. So they're all good balls on a 50-yard approach. My course stuff backs that up. I've had great success with them on a variety of shots. It's been really nice, actually. I've been testing some other balls, and I will say that these have outperformed most of those in all of this like short wedge stuff so far. And I will say that the Chrome Tour X definitely is higher spin on course. Like, and when I really want to rip one with some spin, it's ridiculous. You can absolutely do whatever you want with that ball. So like I said, then I hit some full pitching wedge. It's my 47-degree Cobra. I should have used my Edison here because it's got a little fresher grooves, but I'm not a super high spin guy, but it definitely cost me a little bit there. Take a seat, you can hear a little differences, and we'll look at the data. It sounds firm. Feels solid. Yeah, much softer. Start to see this now. The Chrome Tour is lower spinning on a lot of this than the LS. It was immediate. First test I did with it, and I've done this a dozen times. For me, it is lower spinning throughout part of the bag than the LS. But if you look at the data, LS was about what I expect. Chrome Tour X was right around that actually. But like I said, when I want to spin one up with the Chrome Tour X, I can definitely raise that number quite a bit. Everything matched up well in the shots. Like I said, I just kind of left everything in there, but the averages on swing speed and dynamic loft, everything, delivery and everything, strike patterns, I was pretty close, within very small decimals. So that's pretty much the gist of it. I don't think I've had any trouble on full pitching wedge approach with the Chrome Tour. I've actually really enjoyed it. It's the one I've been playing the most because it's the new one. It's the exciting one. It's going to, like I said, put pressure on one of their competitors on this. And I think it's actually a good thing that you start to see some differences here because there really wasn't that big of a separation between the LS and the Chrome Soft X in some ways. I liked it for one very specific reason mostly, which is like a full 9-iron shot. You don't have to worry about spinning it up as much if you get into the wind, things like that, where you're really going after a short iron. Just had that little bit less spin. But for a lot of people, it really wasn't that different of a performer in some ways. It just felt real firm and people don't love that. So this is going to be a softer feel and some actual separation spin, which I think is going to benefit a lot more people, honestly. All right, let's get into the 7-iron stuff and look at the data. I react to the sound and feel differences again, but everyone's always telling me they want me to bring it down to like a more normal speed. So me having the bum calf actually I think works really well. I took it real easy on those pitching wedges. You could tell they're just kind of 3/4 shots. Same thing with this, nice and easy. Firm, solid, cool. You hear it. Good example. 50, 195, 5200. And that's pretty much the end of that. Like I said, I do not recommend tearing a calf muscle in your right leg. It is not good. But I'll be back to you in no time. You can see again the little separation there. My spin numbers with a 7-iron. This is typical for me on the day when I'm not swinging full. I just don't generate a ton. It looks more like 6-iron spin for most, but it's a 34-degree CB 7-iron. And X had everything lined up. I said left a bunch in there. I was real consistent with the X, but the little bit of spin difference, a little lower in the Tour. Like I said, there's not much separation from the LS and the Chrome Soft X last time. I mean, there'd be maybe a few hundred more. And I have noticed that the X overall spins maybe just a little bit more than the previous version. But on this particular one, like I said, leaving everything in there, they still don't, the standard deviation doesn't cross them over. The Chrome Tour is lower spinning and a little bit longer. And he said, feels great. That softer compression, like I said, is going to be so much better for so many people. They have a whole new ball core to cover. Like I said, new rubber system, dual mantle, and the new aero package is it's kind of like a hex and round combined instead of just the hex. I'll throw up a comparison picture of like the old LS and how much more the hex was defined. It's a little softer this time. And I will say that on course, I've played on the wind. It's really cold here. You'll see from the course stuff here coming up that it's been great in the wind. I haven't had any issues. I mean, it's always been a good ball in the wind. They obviously weren't going to make that any worse, but it's been really good. Both of them have. The X just spin a little bit more, and you get a little more resistance from that sometimes just because of the spin. Speaking of course stuff, greenside, like I said, they've been great. The X actually got me a few times where I didn't expect it to check up, and it did. Let's look at a couple shots. I always try to bring the camera back. Like I said, I mostly spent time with the Tour testing this stuff because it's the one that everyone's going to be curious about. The X is just a progression of the X. It's new, it's better, it's amazing, but the Tour is a little bit different ball. That's the new exciting one, the gold standard. So two different situations there. The one with the leaves on the background is more fall. That was a little while ago, but It's a firm green, you know. It still has enough to hit and back up a little bit there, so I can hold it on anything. I'm very confident about that. I can jump forward and come back to my spot, which is what I want. The other one downhill, but it actually had a little wind with it, and that's a tough green to stop on. So that has a little bit of pitch this way, but still backing it up, plenty of spin. The X even more. Like I said, I'm a Callaway ball user, and I'm excited about these. I'm excited for people about these. Like I said, I hit some more full 55 degree too, which is my sand wedge, just to get the same type of spin clearance. I'll show the data here. Everything lining up. Like I said, just left everything in there. I think I had a really big miss right off the bat with the LS. But you can see same type of thing with the spin. It's definitely a little less, but I haven't had any trouble on course into some pretty tough conditioned greens. So I think for me, it's going to spin plenty. I think for most people, it's going to be a really good ball, the Chrome Tour, and the X, you know, is the one you're going to see all the tour guys playing. You're going to see them right now, actually. Century's happening. Pay attention. Besides, you know, going to the thread and reading all the feedback from the Granddaddy guys and everybody else who's been testing them early. Check out, you know, the live coverage. There's going to be some really cool visual marketing stuff that's really fun. So don't forget to do that. You know, but with any rubber system, the big story is speed. You know, they're faster. It's a fast year for balls, even from some competitors. But the faster you swing this thing, the faster it goes. And I mean, obviously, but with those initial driver tests showed that, like, as you ramped up, like for some friends, you know, they'd see a half a mile here, 3/4 of a mile an hour there. But when I got up there, you know, swinging over 120, like it starts to show up. You get a big difference, and the Chrome Tour is really lively in the irons. I think for a lot of people, that like 7-8 iron, like there's an uptick in speed there. Gain a little distance, you know, especially a little lower spin. When I was first doing my first 8-iron test, I had to actually slow my swing down and try to match up some numbers. Seemed quick, which is great. Not that the RNA loves it, but we all do as golfers. So that's it. I have some comparisons later. I'll throw some driver stuff in, and I have a Pro V1 comparison I'll upload at some point because that's the one everyone's going to be curious about. But the big thing is, you know, fast, new hyperfast soft core, new aero, the softer urethane. Like I said, I haven't had any durability issues. Everyone's always talking about durability with new balls, and it tires me to death because people lose balls. You know, like if you hit it into a cart path or a tree, it should scuff. If it's a performing ball, it's not going to be made of Kevlar. I haven't had any issues in the cold weather. I think covers become more fragile, and when I'm testing every winter, it feels like I can dig into them easier in the winter. Nothing seemed out of line compared to last time. I think they're plenty durable for most people. You want a ball to last 5 rounds or whatever. This one did though. You know. Play something that's made of Kevlar, you know, then just doesn't perform. Just knock yourself out. I don't care, but they're plenty durable. What else? You know, gold box for the Tour, black box for the X. I actually don't remember for the Chrome Soft, but they're announced today. Obviously, I think they hit shelves February 2nd, January 24th. I can't remember. These things always change. I think the 2nd. But $54.99. You know, no big increase there, you know, nothing crazy. So pay attention to the forum, listen to the feedback from others. The Granddaddy guys got to experience these things too. And lots of testers out there. It's just going to be a really fun year for balls. And check out the new Callaway Chrome Tour balls.